Okay, so you think you're smart. Everybody does. Well, pretty much. If you don't think you're smart, you think you're a victim, well, go away, you're stupid. You're incredibly stupid. And basically, if you've got a lot of victim stuff, you've got a bucket load of parasites in you, because that's what they do. That's the controlling aspects, to tell you to do stupid shit and then go and eat silly foods and sugar and alcohol and essentially control the entire being. And the hilarious part is that individual entity thinks they're intelligent. But where does their thinking and their intelligent capacity come from? This is a good question, isn't it? And if you get triggered, own your shit and do your research and clear your shit, because you're fungal. So, have a look around at the society we live in, especially in the Western world. People are constantly addicted to sugar. They're just controlled by different critters to influence them to get sugar because they want to be fed. And they keep reproducing the same behaviors with the same food. So obviously it's reproductive system and the sacral gland. It has got a whole, trust me on this one, I'm now getting through into that area from my spinal alignment tension, getting rid of a lot of stuff there. There is a whole nother level of environment, a new dimension of creatures and critters in that area. And this is why we have people with, a little bit different or warped sexuality and sensuality, and also kiddie fitting, and all these different boys' schools and churches, and Catholic priests and all that sort of stuff. It's all reproduced because they're passing on those parasites and those creatures, because it's passed on in liquids. But in touch, air, and the parasites, fungus is transferred by air. Yeah, totally they do. So, back to where's the intelligence come from? First of all, as we know, the brain, especially the lower brain, is essentially 10% maximum, but most people are under 4, most of them lucky at 2. And if they haven't awakened the crown, which is maybe a few thousand people on the planet, so you get through what I call the start line for excellence, spiritual level called enlightenment, then their brain is controlled by something else, because they're uncontrolled, their senses and their behaviours. Hang on, that's not good for me. Why would I eat that? Why would I put that in my body or do that to myself? That's what morbidly obese people do, and look at them. No thanks, I don't want to look like that. So, how do you know? More on intelligence, I'll get back to that. So, the most intelligent creatures and organisms on the planet, comfortably, are viruses, parasites, and fungus. Yeah. And the amount of times, in fact, it's pretty much everywhere, they'll come up with this theory or this. I was watching a documentary recently called The Universe, and every single vision or planet or rocket ship or this or that, every single concept that they had was a part of the body. Everyone, every single one. Now, a black hole. Oh, it looks like your sphincter. That Milky Way. Would that happen to be biofilms and mucus along here and here and here? It was directly related every single time to a place in the gut or in the body. What's a rocket ship? Okay, well, we need to go up the chakra system, because there's nervous system and critters going up, conductivity to the brain. What's in the brain? Well, if it's not awakened up here, and that takes a lot of purification and effort to get there. But it's easy enough if you don't need discipline and excellence. Then this part is an absolute dead zone. There's no conductivity. The way you can tell, by the way, if you're looking at people who are bald or losing their hair, guess what? There's no conductivity there. It's a maintenance job. It's only hair. It doesn't take that much energy to use and utilize and maintain. So obviously there's not enough getting up the top of the brain. So, as everything in Mother Nature is, if you don't have individual full responsibility for it, Mother Nature or the system will take over that environment. Yeah. Well, if you're not taking care of it, who else is? Someone's got it. And creatures grow. Fungus grows every day. Parasites grow every single moment. So, how do we know we're actually thinking for ourselves? And ideally our soul, doing good things for ourselves, growing, expanding. Well, you have to ask yourself that, but most of the time, easily 95% of the time, have a look around at the society and people in their matrix job or their role, they think like the system. We call it social programming. So, take for instance if you have to ring up a government department. And you know, every single time they're incredibly slow and they go, you have to do it in a process, step 3, 4, 5, 6. And you go, well, hang on, this is what I want, we can go straight to step 6. And their mind is unable to do that. Incapable. No, we've got to do the system through the process. Wouldn't you have done this job for 5 years or even just a couple of days and figured out how to do it efficiently? Skip the system, hang on, this is what this person wants, help them out, make it faster, make it easy for yourself. You make your KPIs and your performance faster and better. So you're actually serving the person, getting their needs done quick as possible, you're doing your job better so you feel good about yourself, and you're efficient, because, you know, we like to get stuff done and help, don't we? Well, nope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. Unable to think unless a computer or a system has told them how to process, because they do not have the processing power from gut to brain. Incapable of doing it. So, this matrix zombie-like existence of this 9 to 5, okay, I just do this now like a good robot zombie. Hang on. Are they actually capable of independent thought and thinking for themselves? No, not at all. Fungal connected in the brain, which goes from the vagus nerve, from the gut up to the top, but also specifically down in the reproductive system. Where does a person get their intelligence from? How about we get rid of intelligence, because it's obviously stupid. This is not us. It doesn't come from us. For full responsibility of your own body and mind. Yeah, this rules out science pretty much completely. Anyone who's got a theory, what you should know, you shouldn't be thinking it and then explaining it to other people and getting their opinions and trying to figure it out, essentially proving themselves to the father. Liver and gallbladder's toxic. Because the information or consciousness goes through the body if it's expanded enough, and you're able to have independent thought and hang on, that feels right. Oh, I don't know, that doesn't right. And it only really starts when you're up here, because you've got 90% of the ground now available. Because you've got the conductivity through the rest of the network in the body. But if the fungal network is in control, and then you've got moles and you've got all sorts of stuff going on, you're drawn to the matrix or society, because it's essentially projected light through the body. And if we've got lots of fungus in our body, which, hey, I had lots and still do, I'm getting rid of every day, there's that much there, then those flesh eating and sucking anybody's life force, because it's taking the conductivity away from thought patterns, distracting over here and do it this way, think like the system says, instead of doing it with what you want and your soul, then who's in control of the senses? Who's controlling the thinking? Who's the independent one? Who's the one that's really in control? Because I can tell you, every single day, I'm talking with walking fungal infections, and they think they're smart and intelligent. And then in a sentence or two, I just go, yeah, but this is in your body, you're thinking like this because you're told frequency-wise by the system around you. Frequency, conductivity through both the nervous system and the endocrine glands. So, for instance, what am I on now? So, I've got tension down here, so my conductivity down to these organs in the nervous system is impaired. So there's viruses, all sorts of creatures and things. From 35 years, actually 30 years. Well, so I still ate reasonable. Like I had a healthy diet throughout my entire childhood. Reasonable, lots of shitload of sugar, and then 5 years, or maybe 6 years of maximum nutrition, maximum detoxification at worldwide expert level, from many different teachers and healers and modalities and ancient wisdom. I still haven't fixed it all. No. I'm still somewhat connected to the matrix, not as much as anyone else, and I'm working on getting more and more and more out of it. Because the frequencies come in, essentially do the conductivity thing, go zzz, and this is how I know this part of me is still connected to the matrix, so I need to fix that part. I get the herbs, I get this, I get this, I get hot yoga, everything I possibly do to fix that part. And then I'm not thinking like the matrix instructs me to. And as you can see, I've got lines up here which indicate trapped fungus down here. So my perception of my third eye is connected to the matrix subconsciously, but I'm aware of it. So I'm funking up the fungus as much as I possibly can, because this is your perception here. Lots of people with lines here. Notice they think they're really smart, buzzing around all over the place, unable to sit still with themselves and actually control their senses and their faculties. Fungal control. It's subtle because it's a frequency based, and there's not many people who know anything about fungus, but hey, everything in nature, including our human body, grows fungus in every moment. Who's in control of that? Do you have the practices, the herbs, and lifestyle, the nutrition to deal with that? It's pretty handy if you want to get yourself out of the matrix and achieve your goals and your dreams. It's pretty essential. Yeah, really. But, that's up to individual choice of your parasites and fungus. Who's in control? Fascinating.